Hey everyone, Big Bear Ballin here again, trying to get another video out a little bit more quickly to you guys. As you can see, I've got the maxed rocket launchers now and I'm at rank 25, and I've been pretty much just stuck here for a little bit. It's getting really hard to rank up because a lot of these bases are all the same. You know, sometimes if you make one slip up and you don't protect your bombardiers, it's, you know, you lose versus winning. So it's basically just coming down to who can do a little bit of more mistake-free attacks, because you're going to make mistakes. A lot of the guys are getting into 7 engine rooms now, and that seems to be a bit of an advantage, especially when they get the laser. Saw this base, and I think this is actually Pete's base, if what I understood what he was saying earlier. So this is a new base I hadn't seen before. And I'm gonna go back to some of the attacks that have been working on my base, I guess. I figure I want to come up this right side, just because those 4 engine rooms are a lot closer, whereas if I go to the left up top and come around the back, those 2 engine rooms up there, they're gonna pull all my troops down that left side, and I'm not gonna take out those middle 2 engine rooms by the shock blaster there. So I figure I need to come up the right side, even though I think that's what he wants me to do. Have to do some stagger drops and come up that side. Still using this attack. People, you know, have still been using it with some success. The shock blaster's far enough to where it's not going to hit me yet. And then he's got that split down the middle, so my bombardiers on that left side should stay primarily on this right side, and they're not going to get taken out by the boom cannon over there on the left side of the base. Just watching Kavan, making sure he doesn't get taken out from across the way. I think sometimes that boom cannon will pick him off, but luckily I've got some troops that headed up a little higher on that ramp, so he seems protected for at least a little bit. And it looked like he might have been hit right about there, but the boom cannon targeted something else. So working my way through, I've still got a lot of troops, haven't really used much of my GBE, and you know, right now it's looking good. I'm thinking I can probably clear this base because I've got 67 GBE left. I've got a lot of second winds. Haven't used too many shocks, but again, it just sort of falls apart there. So we'll see what happens. That CMO starts picking off the people as they come to the right. I've got to shock it to make sure it doesn't take out Kavan, because I think it was about to hit him next. And then Kavan goes running all the way back, so I do another second wind because now my bombardiers are exposed. And I lose a couple bombardiers here to that CMO. I think if I'd kept those 2 maybe remaining, I get through this base a little bit better than I do. You know, still not too bad of an attack. I know I've already won because he retreated, but I'm going to try and get more. Right now, I'm just trying to see what works and what doesn't, because it seems like a lot of the bases are similar, and you know, one thing you do differently can mean you either get 3 engine rooms or you get all of them, or you know, 5 out of the 6. So I'm just trying to see how far I can get to try and learn what I can do better next time. I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to save myself and make sure I can finish these, because I usually get to right about here. I can get half the base pretty easily, and then it just sort of fizzles out with 1 rocket launcher and maybe 1 boom cannon shock launcher left, like just 2 defensive buildings that I just can't get to, and I end up losing usually around this point. But still, the name of the game is, you know, get more engine rooms than the other person. So I still got more than him, still get a win, still get to progress. I was a little rude using that smoke there. I probably should have just let it in, but I was curious to see how many more shots I could get off if I fully healed Mr. Bombardier there. So end up retreating, get the win, and we carry on. So getting into the next one, hope everyone's season is going okay. It's definitely getting grindy out there, so especially with most people having variations of this base, and you know, the longer people are in 6 engine rooms, the tougher it's going to get, because the bases are going to keep developing and fine-tuning until you get extremely tough, more difficult than it is now. So I know people like to hang back and make sure they have enough keys for things beyond the next engine room, but the longer you stay at an engine room level, the tougher the defenses and the bases get, because people have done all the fine tuning already. So, and as far as I know, this base carries into 7 engine rooms from what I've seen too. Going against Caldor here. He's got a little different of a base here. Don't remember what I do. Very front-loaded base. And I think I actually copy Op-Destroy on this one, because I happened to be watching his stream before I decided before I came home to film this video here. And I actually got to see him go against this base. So I wanted to see if I fizzled out sort of around the same area, or if I would do a little better. So we're going to come around the back like he did. Shout out to Op-Destroy. Again, good match earlier. So come around the back using the heavies. And like I said, I'm still just trying different strategies. I don't know if the riflemen, what the numbers of the riflemen are heavies, if it should be all heavies, all riflemen, or if I should mix it up a little bit. I'm still not really sure exactly how what the best attack strategy on these is. So I'm just trying out different things, seeing what's gonna work. I really like Caldor's base in a way that helps me, not for him actually, because he's got these rocket launchers pretty close together, so it's actually going to pull my heavies and my bombardiers to take out both of the rocket launchers. Usually this one on the right side of the screen here, the one in the middle, doesn't actually get taken out so early. It just picks apart your bombardiers as they run across the left side. But you can see, because he had it sort of close to these other defenses that stuck out more to the middle of his base, I was able to get both rocket launchers gone right away. I try and use some critters to distract this hot pot, but it still just takes out, does a lot of damage to my heavies. So I probably should have shocked it or dropped the critters a little sooner on that. And I'm getting through the base pretty well. I've got some good GBE. I'm just going to keep this shock blaster where out of range, keep it shocked, and try and get it taken out soon before it takes out the rest of my my meat shield there. Got a lot of bombardiers. They're a little more to the left side of the base than I wanted. I was hoping they'd spread out a bit more and be attacking this engine room already, but they're coming along more the left side there. Throwing down a med kit. I just maxed out my med kits recently too. I had them at level 3 for a while. So knowing that I was losing quite a few of them because I throw a med kit, but the rocket launchers would still take them out. So maxing that out was a good investment, since I'm no longer saving for the rocket launchers. And he already retreated, so I know I've got the win. And I'm just going to drop the rest of my GBE and leave there. On a win streak, which has been very rare for me lately. I really haven't done many win streaks. It feels like in a bunch of days. I get to 2 or 3 wins, then I lose. It's been really hard to progress. I've been stuck ranked 23 to 25, probably what feels like the last 5 days or so. About 50 people are in Legendary now, so I need to get up to Legendary here in the next day or two to try and start getting those Legendary chests and get another top 50 trophy for this season. But right now it's looking a little tough to get there. I may have to wait till I get to 7 engine rooms and the laser, I don't know. End up maxing out the building damage, and I went ahead and used the rest. I could use it to max out my barrage and artillery, which would be nice, but honestly, the engine rooms have a ton of health anyway, and I'm just trying to keep my troops alive a little longer to get through that last, troublesome defense or so. So I figured I'd upgrade Kavan, get a little more healing. And going up against Op-Destroy, big shout out to him. Always love your videos, man. And he has a pretty good base. I like this one. So I end up going with the Seekers on this one to try and take out the right side. I don't do the best on it. I maybe should have just dropped a boat of riflemen and a couple bombardiers to take out that left side, or down at the bottom here. But I end up doing something a little different. I end up going with the Seekers, which, like I said in my last video, it usually gets you one of those engine rooms. Sometimes you can get two if you do some pretty good shocks and you can keep the Doom Cannon distracted with critters long enough. But he's got that flamethrower there, which I didn't do a good job of placing my critters, as you'll see, to distract it. Gonna take out some of the mines, protect the Seekers just a little bit longer. And then just wait for these guys to get to where they're going to start. Now with this attack with the 2 heavies and 3 bombardiers, you can usually guarantee you'll get at least 2 engine rooms. The goal is 3, and then if you get all 4 of those, then you killed it. You did great. But 3 is always the goal when you bring 5 boats like this up, when you're saving the rest for the bottom. Usually those 3 on the left side. The middle one there's a perk. I guess it's a bonus. So things looking okay right now. I've got a decent amount of heavies. I'm going to wait for them to move forward a little. The CMO's in range. Going to end up dropping the Seekers. Then I get that shock launcher covered there. Just checking on here. They're doing pretty good. I didn't drop critters fast enough on the Doom Cannon. I actually forgot. And then the critters I dropped, you could see were in range of the flamethrower. Once I dropped those Seekers, and before they came out of the smoke, I should have dropped the critters on the right side of the Doom Cannon to keep it distracted, because that took out quite a few of my Seekers, I think. Otherwise, they would have done a lot more damage on that bottom engine room. So I end up taking out the 3 on the left, and then again, like I said, the middle one's a bonus with this kind of an attack, because you have to use a lot of GB on the shocks to take out the bottom engine room. So you know, you're not going to be left with a lot up in the middle. So getting 4 is, you know, you're giving yourself a chance to win, right? 3 depends on what the other person does, but if you can get 4 engine rooms, then you'll probably, for the most part, tie or win. Every now and then you'll see full clears still, but majority of the time, if you can get 4, you'll have a chance at winning that one. Especially with my base split up with the 3-3. Usually they get 3 and then they don't take out the other 3. And then Op gets really close here to tying me, and then I think he would have beat me on damage, because with the Seekers I didn't do much damage to that bottom side, so he probably would have had me here. And I'm thinking about moving my Doom Cannon maybe one notch closer to the right or something. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that yet. Or maybe move the engine room. I want it a little more covered because he almost takes out my engine room here with the shock launcher out of range, rocket launcher, and then the boom cannon comes in to save the day. And then if that Doom Cannon were one more tile in range or something, I think I would have, it wouldn't have come so close. So I'm going to make some modifications to my base now thanks to this attack. That's what you do. You watch replays, you learn, you adjust. See, he almost gets me there, and I would have lost that one. Pretty sure. But good game up. Hang in there with the grinds. I really like having my shock blaster in the middle there, sort of all by itself. And in his video, he actually shocks my shock blaster and that rocket launcher I have above. I moved the rocket launcher in the middle closer down to the base to cover these left engine rooms for when people reflare, but I need to maybe move the shock blaster or something so that they both can't be shocked at once. Get into either one or two more attacks here, I'm not sure. Mr. Pietrek, always a name I hate to see when I come up against. He's just, he's a very good player. And I think I like his base a little bit better than mine, honestly. His Doom Cannon is a little bit better placed for that reflare. Don't recall what I do on this base. Not sure. Oh, I go around the back. I think I do the same attack. Just to see how far the Seekers would get. I think I can get the first 2 engine rooms on the right, but it doesn't really work out that way. His defenses do a bit more damage than I realize. And then this is really bad. Usually I use 2 boats of heavies, but I ended up with riflemen. And Kavan, he waits, until all the troops go by. So I really waited on that rifleman deployment. So there's a long line of riflemen, and you'll see what I do here, because I always try and get the bombardiers really high on this left wall so they don't fan out too far to the middle to be picked off by the rocket launchers. But I flare a little early, or I guess a little late, depending on how you look at it. I could have had the rifleman save him, but I notice it too late. There goes Kavan, boop, and there goes my attack. Don't do what I did just there. That was really bad. Really bad. Oh, I see what I actually didn't watch this attack. I missed the shock launcher, it looks like, down there. No, I did hit it. Okay. The Seekers just didn't really do much damage. You see how they really curve around to the inside down there instead of to try and hit that engine room. So a lot of them are exposed with where he has his engine rooms. And then I'm just trying to get an engine room because I know that I probably failed this attack. So just get 3, and again, you're leaving it up in the air at this point, but I didn't do much damage, so I pretty much know I lost this one. And he takes out half the base, gets rid of the shock blaster and the rocket launcher, and it looks like he barred out the other rocket launcher up there. So he's made this base fairly easy now to flare back and take out a couple more engine rooms. I'm guessing that was his plan all along, was since he barred that rocket launcher out, which is a really good idea if I guess you have a layout like mine, where you can take out the engine rooms down there and then get rid of the one pesky defense that could ruin your attack when you reflare around the other side of the base. And he saved enough GBE to do a second win, so really well done by him. And then bringing the riflemen in instead of the heavies keeps Kavan alive, and it keeps the bombardiers alive, because usually they take some damage. So my CMO is just going to keep hitting the riflemen instead of the bombardiers here, so they get a free shot basically to take out this engine room. If you ever go up against Mr. Pietrek, good luck. He usually seems to have the upper hand, at least against me, so he's a pretty good player. Well done, sir. Didn't want to end on a loss, so I ended up doing one more. Especially after losing my win streak there. I thought maybe I could get to mid-rank 25 here. Some people were wondering earlier about Bullet in the Discord chat. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Bullet lately. It seems like he's sort of fizzled out with these max building damage, building health, 6 engine room bases, and all the protos. So he can get you 3 engine rooms maybe, but he usually fizzles out sooner than Kavan does. With Kavan, you get that opportunity to do the reflare and the smoke around the back. You can take out a bit more engine rooms and get more damage that way too. He carries you a bit further through the base. So I don't know if I should have done 4 bombardiers or 5 here. I figure, you know, all of his engine rooms are up front, so I'm just going to do as much damage as I can in the beginning. Whereas if I were going for a full clear, I might have just done 4 bombardiers and 4 staggered riflemen. And I picked the left side. You don't want to go right down the middle just because the bombardiers are going to fan out entirely and you're not going to have the riflemen to cover the entire ramp. So I generally pick this left side here. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed, but I picked this left side for the bombardiers to travel down instead of you know, right down the middle, like I said. They just fan out too much, and then they're taking out defenses, but they're just going to get picked off by all these rocket launchers that are on the side of the base, and the boom cannons, things like that. So I'm going to keep the shock blaster. I've still got a decent amount of GBE. I was able to do pretty well here. And then, I don't know, it wasn't the best base design, I wouldn't say. Just because he left so many things up close, you know, I only have to get through 1 line of defenses to start taking 4 engine rooms. I don't know if he's hoping that he takes more of yours or whatnot, but you know, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to get 4 of them. Then I re-flare and smoke here. I just have to get that rocket launcher taken care of. So I'm going to re-heal the bombardiers, let them take out the flamethrower, and then I'm going to quick flare the rocket launcher. Because if I can take that out, I'm out of the range of the doom cannon. I can pretty much guarantee I get an engine room. And then he's retreated, so again, I already know I won, but I'm going to go ahead and get this other engine room, and there's no way I'm going to finish the rest of it. You know, I could re-flare to the bottom, but then the boom cannon and the rocket launcher will get me, and if I go around the back, then the rocket launcher's in range, and I don't have any more GBE, really. So, just going to do my damage and retreat. So, pretty good stream, got some good wins, got on a win streak, which has been a while, like I said. Again, just still trying to figure out the best attacks. I'm starting to see more variability like this base and how they're set up. So keep plugging away. Again, the goal is to get 4 engine rooms. If you can do that, you give yourself a good chance. So use strategies, you know, sometimes maybe don't go for the full clear. Use strategies that you know can get you 4, so if they're not clearing your base either. And then I'm number 71 right now, so I'm getting closer, but I'd really like to be in Legendary here pretty soon, which I need to, is basically top 50, which is my goal. So gonna work on that. Shout out to ABR. I got to go up against him the other day, and he won, of course. But anyways, enjoy the video, and I will see y'all next time, and keep booming.